When your back is turned, what is Jeff, okay, or Jill, or Jack, or Ronald, whatever, what are they gonna say about you when you're not there? I was in San Francisco the other day, and this lady was wearing a scarf and full-on winter gear, and it was 75 degrees, and I put my hand on the handle, like I'm ready to get it, and the guy drives off. He just drives, like he gasses it. His foot is to the floor and he drives off. And I was trying so hard to contain myself because these are two grown women fighting and screaming and like shoving each other over the armrest. What's up, guys? My name is Bears and welcome back to my channel. Today is episode number 4 of the Bears W Show. Right here, Bears W Show, episode number 4. Please make sure you don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. That is really important. We have a lot to talk about today, and I know we don't have a lot of time, so let's jump straight into it, okay? The first thing I wanted to mention is this hoodie, okay? Personal branding is important. For some people, this may be way too much, but for me, it's important. How do you look? How do you talk? How do you overall represent yourself? How do you present yourself? Now, that doesn't have to be, with a logo or something like that, but that can be anything. In general, your work ethic, how do you act? But another part of that is having something that can be recognized. Starbucks is a company that is huge, and when you see that Starbucks logo, it doesn't matter who you are, you can tell me that that's Starbucks. So things like that. It can be a hairstyle, it can be sunglasses, things that are an individual signature that mesh with who they are. Okay, so I thought that was really important. I love this sweater. I really like it. I think it looks really good. Next up, something that's really interesting is NBC has been giving out a few shows recently. Kelly Clarkson just got a show, and I mean, she's already big in the industry, whatever. But also a YouTuber. I think she goes by Superwoman. Her name's Lily Singh, I think. She just got a late night show with NBC, which is crazy. I want to have a show like that in the future. So it's really interesting to see these people getting shows. And it really shows that YouTube, the marketplace, is a place that there's such a wide variety of content. You have movies on YouTube that can't get distribution, so they're on YouTube, right? Then you also have people who are in their basement filming themselves and they get millions of views. It really all depends. I mean, there's a guy who has hundreds of thousands of subscribers and all he does is drink drinks. And he gets a million views. Like, he'll go to 7-Eleven and get a big gulp, and he's getting a million views for that. So YouTube is a place where there's a whole lot of different content, and there is something for everybody on the platform. On the same topic of shows and content, Netflix, this happened a while back, but I just wanted to talk about it now, is that Netflix paid $100 million, okay? That's 100 million, $100 million to keep Friends on their platform. Friends, the show. Now, this was interesting to me because Friends is older than I am, okay? That show came out in the 90s, I think. I need to research that. I mean, that's history for me because it was before I was born. But that show is old, yet they still paid $100 million to keep it on the platform. So that show's got to be really good and keeping a lot of people on the platform. There has to be people on Netflix just to watch Friends if Netflix is going to pay $100 million to keep it on the platform. To me, that's really interesting because they keep that on the platform and they remove The Office. And I know The Office is also really popular. The Office will be taken off in 2020, I think, is what I heard. There's so much craziness going on in the content world. Apple's coming out with their Apple TV Plus, they're coming out with a streaming service. So all of this is going to be really interesting to watch and see how it unfolds. We have a lot of crazy stuff happening in the transportation world as well. We're going into 2020, okay? Which means a lot of new cars, a lot of new car companies, Mercedes, BMW, all of them are all releasing their new models. And a few that really caught my eye was the BMW Concept 4. I mean, look at the picture, okay? It is just amazing. So this is a concept, right? But there have been rumors that the new 4 Series coming out in 2020 is going to look similar to this, or the new revision of the BMW 4 Series is going to look pretty similar aside from a few things. It's never like the concept. But BMW in particular is very good at getting their concept cars to look like the actual production car that's released. Mercedes, so for any that don't know, Mercedes Maybach. Maybach is Mercedes' super luxury brand. It's meant to compete with Rolls-Royce and Bentley. But basically, Maybach, the Mercedes Maybach Vision 6, I think it's called, was also released months ago. It's a concept car, and that thing also looks amazing. That will not be released, to my knowledge, anytime soon, but it is amazing. It's fully electric, and it looks so good. I cannot wait for that to come into production and for that to be big, because that car looks so good. You know, you look at Mercedes. I'll also put a picture up of that, but Mercedes released some kind of it's something, I think it's called something EQ, but it is a fully self-driving concept. That is what I imagine Uber to look like in the future. It's just cars that drive themselves, that you can use at any time. I think Tesla mentioned something a long time ago. Elon Musk mentioned something where your Tesla would be able to drive Uber or something like Uber by itself when you're not driving it, and it can make money on its own. So, I mean, there's just endless capability when it comes to that. You know, speaking of Uber, I've actually had a couple crazy Uber instances. I was about to hop in an Uber the other day, and so he was like, this guy, this Uber driver was on the curb, right, waiting for me. So I go up, and I put my hand on the handle, like I'm ready to get it, and the guy drives off. He just drives, like he gasses it. His foot is to the floor, and he drives off. I don't know what he was doing, why he did it, but my hand was in the handle, like I was about to open the door. It's kind of like that New York cliche thing you see in all the movies. It was like that, like the taxi leaves right before you're gonna get in. It was like that, and I was like, it was so weird because there was no pressure, and I don't know if he saw me or he didn't see me because he ended up coming back around, but it was weird, and I just had to throw that in. My hand was in the handle, and he gassed it, and he was going, it looked like he was going for the hills, like he went off. Back to the personal branding kind of thing. The most successful people, you know, when I was talking about this, okay? The most successful people will tell you that personal branding is so important. Now, that doesn't mean you need to have a logo, but it means how you carry yourself, how you present yourself, your work ethic, how you speak, how you look. All of this stuff creates a package, okay? Jeff Bezos said, I think, he said, like, your personal brand thing is what people say about you when you're not in the room, okay? So when your back is turned, what is Jeff, okay, or Jill, or Jack, or Ronald, whatever, what are they going to say about you when you're not there? What are you known for? There's two parts of that. There's the personality part and then your image. There's a reason why a lot of famous people, especially in the music industry, pick certain items to accompany their image, so you see that certain hairstyle and you know, oh, that's that person, or you see that certain type of sunglasses and you know that's that person, or it goes crazy. The possibilities are unlimited, but that is super popular, especially in Hollywood, and it's important because if you're not in Hollywood, it doesn't matter. You can use that concept and use that idea. You know, I really like to look at successful people and see how can I learn from them. How do they move? How do they operate? How do they work? What time do they wake up? What do they do throughout their day? If you can do that and study those successful people, you're going to be able to see how can we implement that in our life. And I think that is really interesting. And really, as far as transportation goes, there's so much change happening. There's so much new stuff coming about. I mean, eventually planes are going to be flying themselves and stuff like that. I want to see what's going to happen as far as the economics go in that scenario. Will be really interesting. Speaking of planes, I was on a plane once. I think I was on a flight to Chicago, and I was sitting behind these two people, right? And one of them had a dog in their lap, and the other one was just this normal lady. And they started fighting over the armrest, you know, in the middle, because you know how there's an armrest, so there's a middle seat and the window seat. They were fighting over it. And I was trying so hard to contain myself, because these are two grown women fighting and screaming and like shoving each other over the armrest, and they had to bring the flight attendant in, and I was the only one sitting there laughing, but I couldn't help it because they're fighting over this, and it was just ridiculous. Speaking about planes, it is so unhealthy. Like, I read an article the other day about the long-term effects that sitting down on planes for so long has. It's just horrible. Like, you can get blood clots, you can get messed up in so many different ways if you fly a lot. So if you're flying, you need to stand up in between. It's kind of messed up how they put so many people in together and how they make the seats so small and so restricted. I live in California. It doesn't rain here. It rains every so often, but we had a hot couple of days, like 85, 95 degrees. And so it rained a little bit. And everybody like freaks out. Like, people in California cannot deal with the rain. It rains a little bit and all hell breaks loose. Like, people are like, places are flooding. There's places shutting down. Like BART station was shut down. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? It rained for 3 hours and people can't pull it together. Californians will wear a sweater when it's under 75, okay? Like a sweater and a scarf. I was in San Francisco the other day, and this lady was wearing a scarf and full-on winter gear, and it was 75 degrees. Alright guys, I think with that being said, that's gonna be it for this episode of the Bears W Show. That was episode 4. Please, you guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Commenting is important. Instagram, follow me on Instagram at BearsW. I'll put that up here. At Bears_W. I ask questions. What do you guys want to see for future videos? You can put it down in the comments here too. Let me know kind of videos you want to see as far as the Bears W Show goes. With that being said, we're going to finish off today's episode with a quote like always. Today's quote is, again, from Forbes on Instagram. I'll put it up here or here, wherever there's space. But it's by Forbes on Instagram, and it's, you have to do your own thing. You have to do your own thing. That quote is by Malcolm Forbes. Take it as you will. But the quote is, again, you have to do your own thing, by Malcolm Forbes, which is the founder of Forbes, and it's from Forbes on Instagram. Not sponsored by Forbes. I wish it was, though. Okay? We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day, night. Whenever you're watching this, have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one.